I have now had the adventure, I guess, of being lost in the jungle with a dying phone and no cell service and being saved by my new little brother. He's my adopted little brother now. I love him very much. Hello and welcome back to my stupid little life or silly little life or something. Today I'm gonna tell you about an adventure. I won't tell you about an adventure my girlfriend and I had. So I recently went down to Phuket to visit with my girlfriend while she was visiting Thailand and traveling around. And I was only there for a couple days. And one of those days we went out and we had an adventure. And I'm gonna let past me take it away from here, because it was crazy. Did have a bit of an adventure with my girlfriend, and it was an interesting vibe. Now, I speak a little bit of Thai, very little. I've only been in Thai classes full-time for like 3-4 months, so it is not a lot of Thai. But I speak enough to negotiate and to make small talk and to kind of bond with people a little bit. When you start asking questions in Thai, you tend to get offered the Thai price on items pretty quickly. Get treated a little better because it shows that you're not just some douchebag tourist, because there's a lot of those in this country. So the first night I get out there, she wanted to do a bit of shopping. We walk around kind of a big market area and we're just not being treated well. I didn't like it. And granted, most of these stores might not be run by Thai people, but I felt like every price we were quoted was a scam. I felt like I was being scammed at every corner, and I bought one pair of sunglasses because I'd forgotten mine, but I refused to buy anything else. Didn't really let her buy anything because it was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, excuse me? I would pay less than that in Canada. So the next couple days kind of went on like that, and it kind of burnt us out a little bit. So that was a little disappointing. On the Thursday, her and I had decided to go out and do a little adventure. We wanted to go to some of these like secret beaches we'd been told about that are not very far from Patong. So Freedom Beach is the main one that people told us to go to because it's very secret and it's not popular with the tourists, and it should be like a really cool kind of adventure to go there. You gotta kind of hike down to the beach. But first we went to Paradise Beach because there's a viewpoint near Paradise Beach I wanted to see. It looked like it would be gorgeous. It was alright. And there were 2 beaches connected there. Walked to that second beach, walked up to the viewpoint, and then got grabbed to Freedom Beach. All 3 of these beaches, these 2 locations, I feel so scammed. Everything that was happening felt like a scam. I've never had to pay to just enter a beach in Thailand before, but they make you pay to enter both of these. So 200 baht per person at one beach and 100 baht per person at another beach just to enter. And then it turns out they have like a fucking little mafia monopoly on the whole area, and you can't leave unless you pay one of their taxi services because they refuse to let Grab drivers come in and pick people up. They will only let them drop off. So it's like, do you just wander through the jungle until you're at the spot where Grab can pick you up? Which we did twice. Or do you pay for this scam-ass taxi service to get you out of there? It was really fucked up. So we're going to the Rocky View viewpoint, or Paradise Beach viewpoint, I'm not sure what it's called. And it turns out you have to pay 200 baht per person to get in here, and then they give you this free insane shuttle downhill. So, it looks like there's a whole resort down here. I don't know what's happening. So first we were at Paradise Beach. Like I said, it seems like a big fucking club down there. I guess they do the full moon parties there. It was just not the vibe. We had some food and I argued with people about the fact that my smile fries were made out of potato because they were trying to tell me they were not made of potato, but they were fries and they were definitely made of potato, and I've eaten them before many times in my life. And that was the whole thing. And they were like, no, it's no potato. I'm like, but it is though. But this is a potato product. So it was a whole thing. The vibe was just weird. Like, it was really clubby music, but there was no one clubbing. It's the middle of the day and people are trying to relax. It was just a strange vibe. We had a little snack, met a very cute puppy, so that was nice. And luckily, entering that beach, your 200 baht per person does include your little shuttle down to the beach and back. And then we kind of walked up to the viewpoint. Unfortunately, it was very cloudy. It wasn't a warm day. We didn't even get down to our bikinis really to like take photos. It was just, it was a little chilly. Maybe we're little bitch girls now because we're too used to the heat here. And maybe my Canadian friends would be like, oh my god, it's so hot, and just be getting naked. And I'm like, oh, I'm chilly. shuttle back up and we booked our motorcycles to Freedom Beach. Now, I booked on Grab, she booked on Bolt. Turns out, like I said, they have this fucking taxi monopoly. So the driver's messaging me being like, I can't pick you up there. You have to come down the road. And I explained this to her and like, we gotta jog a little. So luckily we see where he is on the map. Her Bolt guy is, I guess, the same spot. So perfect, we jogged down there. It was one motorcycle. The guy had accepted the ride on both Grab and Bolt at the same time. And then was like, yeah, just both get on, which I've actually never done before. We weren't sure how to put our feet. Her feet ended up just dangling, which she was very uncomfortable with. And then he charged us both as well. And it's just like, oh, okay. Interesting. So there's 3, it turns out, entrances to Freedom Beach. One of them is free. He took us to the one where you have to pay, and it was just fucked. It was fucked, okay? So he dropped us off where we have to pay to enter, and then we had to climb down this hella treacherous fucking kind of steps, and like these areas that are just cement blocks on an angle, like these like 20-foot long, multiple meter long cement blocks angled, and it's a little slippery, and my shoes had no grip, and I legitimately was like, this is dangerous. I don't know if we should be doing this, but it felt like we were in it now. All the way down to this weird ass little mini beach that just had like a weird vibe again, like there was weird music playing, and I hope I took some videos so you can see. It just wasn't the vibe, man. It wasn't the vibe. But there's some rocks we can climb over to get to the main big Freedom Beach. So we do that. Hang out there for a bit. There's boat taxis, so you can take a boat taxi from there if you get stuck to get back to like Patong or wherever. It's about 500 baht per person for the boat. We didn't want to pay that. And I'm like, look, I saw on Google Maps there was another way out. I could see another set of stairs. So after we chilled and wasted some money having to rent a beach mat to just sit down for a while, I was like, let's take this way up and then book Grab from the main road, because it looks like this way goes to the main road. Tried climbing the stairs, got up a small section up to where there is a shuttle that you can rent, of course, to the top of the cliff. And my body just gave up. It was a long day at this point with a lot of moving around. I haven't been feeling too great. My body was just like, you can't do this actually. And I'm like, we have to book this shuttle. So 100 baht each, and they just throw you in the back of a truck. I don't think I took any video of this. Like, I grew up in the countryside, so it kind of felt like off-roading at home, except in the back of a truck with not really enough places to hold onto, and the seats being kind of too high. You kind of felt like you were going to go tipping out, and the truck was climbing an extremely steep hill, and there were just areas, again, that were just smooth like pavement or smooth rock that were slippery, and the wheels would just spin out and spin in place, and my girlfriend was like, we're going to fucking die. And it was like, it was not the vibe, okay? So we get up to the top. That shuttle only takes you to where there's more taxi services, where they don't allow Grab to come pick you up, and you have to pay their fucking taxis to get out. So basically, getting in, you're scammed once because it's a free beach to enter if you come from a different area, but good luck finding that. Then you have to pay again for anything on that beach unless you've hiked in with stuff. And then you have to pay again for one shuttle just to the top where the little road is. And then you have to pay again for a taxi back to wherever the fuck. And we didn't even find out how much that was because I was like, no, I'm done. Like, this is way too scammy. And nothing about it was clean. It wasn't clean. It wasn't the vibe. I don't recommend it. At this point, my phone is fucking dying. And it turns out on these roads, once we get up to them, there's no cell service. So we're walking down, it's kind of these small, dirt, jungly roads, right? And we're coming in and out of like one bar of cell service, and I would try to load Grab, and it just wouldn't load. Now, luckily, my first Grab driver of the day had been an absolute sweetheart. He had a really nice bike. And so I had gotten his personal contact information because I was looking for someone to hire on Saturday. So we're walking and walking. I can't get Grab to load. Every time we get some cell service, I'm like, I can't get Grab to load. My phone is starting to die. I think when we started, it was like 16%, but then it's searching for cell service, and it just started like going fucking down. So it gets to about 8%, and I'm like, I'm just going to text that guy. So I texted him. I sent him a Google Maps pin of like where we could meet him. I had just enough cell service for that, but not enough to load Grab to book an actual car. And I was like, can you please pick me up? I'm lost. A couple minutes later, I get a message back from him that just said, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna save the day. But I wasn't sure he could load the exact pin of where we were. I wasn't sure how accurate it was. I don't know, my cell service isn't great. So we keep walking a little bit to this kind of like restaurant area where we're pretty sure they can pick up at. And there's no cell service even at this little restaurant. A while goes by, I get a call from him. And at this point, my phone is at 2%, okay? And I'd already told him, I sent a message being like, my phone is gonna die. So please find it. I get a call from him and I'm like, are you close by? And it's something like, in his, you know, the little bit of English, he was just like, yes, and then my phone died. Of course, we don't see him. He hasn't passed by us, and from what I saw on Google Maps, it looked like we were walking down the only road in and out of that area. It didn't look like there was another way he could have come from, and I'm just like, oh, he didn't pass us. Fuck. So turn around and start jogging back. Jog back a bit, kind of wait in this one section that looks like maybe people would be picked up and dropped off there. Then I fucking see him coming down the road. It's just a few minutes later of like a lot of stress, right? I see him coming down the road and I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I show him my phone, I'm like, get the head. And he's like, oh, both of you, get on. And this time we adjusted our feet enough. He had a big enough bike that we both got some footrest. It was fine. And he's such a safe driver. And I managed to use his phone to show him where my hotel was and be like, please take me. And then he's such a sweet guy. We didn't agree on a price or anything. You know, we didn't negotiate that at all. It was just, please pick me up. We tried to give him a huge tip and he refused to accept it. We tried to pay him like a few hundred baht extra and he was like, no. And he only took 100 baht, which is a pretty normal price for how far he then had to take us. It was like, you were the best. So I have now had the adventure, I guess, of being lost in the jungle with a dying phone and no cell service and being saved by my new little brother. He's my adopted little brother now. I love him very much. Thank you so much, my friend, for saving us. That was our little adventure, and my girlfriend was feeling very, very burnt out from the scams and everything, and me too, but by the time you get back, it's less burnt out and more like, it was a fucking adventure. Jesus. Look, think of it this way. Sure, we got scammed for a bit of money, but think of it as we paid for the story, because it was a bit crazy. So, you know, it is what it is. And then our luck just turned around. Everything was really good from then on. We had a weird dinner, though, where as we were eating food, people kept trying to come up and sell us more food, and it was like, please stop. We are literally eating. Good. But then we went shopping, and suddenly everything changed. Everybody we were speaking to in the same market was so friendly, was responding to me in Thai. I was chit-chatting with them in Thai. We were getting what seemed to me like good Thai prices because they're the same I would pay at like Chatuchak Market in Bangkok. I was like, this is awesome. This is great. And my girlfriend bought a bunch of souvenirs and it was a lovely time. So yeah, that was quite the day. That was quite the day. That was exhausting. It was exhausting. And I was retelling those events like after it had happened. Luckily, I recorded video of a bunch of things we did, so I have things to jog my memory, because it was like one of those days where afterwards you're just like, what the fuck just happened? Where am I and who am I? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that crazy story. Please watch out for scammers wherever you go. Unless you don't really care, then you know, you do you. Sure. Great. Okay, anyway, that's it for me today. Please stay safe, have fun, and go have a fucking adventure. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.